Please, share your heart.
Thank you.
You are.
Hi, my name is Cynde, and I am so happy to be here tonight. If you're also happy to be here, please just wave at me. Awesome. I'm going to tell you about 3 time periods in my life. The first is a very long stretch of time, 40 years. I don't have time to detail 40 years of my life for you right now, but I'm going to read some words to you that will relay what much of that time was like. Shame, fear, anxiety, panic attacks, verbal, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, rape, PTSD, anger, hatred, pain, self-harm, domestic violence, dysfunction, codependency, people addictions, people-pleasing, control, manipulation, depression, isolation. Winston Churchill says, when you're going through hell, or he once said that, keep going. Much of those 40 years was very scary for me. I didn't know how to make it stop. I didn't like being there, but I didn't know how to get out. I wanted a different life, but I felt completely caged by huge invisible bars of fear. One day, when my life was in that very dark place, a light began to shine. It was a tiny little light. It was really just like a little pinprick of light, but it was enough light in that darkness to give me hope. That's right, hope showed up in all that darkness, and I started believing that I could get out, but I still didn't know how. And that leads to the second time period in my life. It was a very small amount of time. It was just one moment. It was the moment on March 30th, 2011, that I knew that I was going to need help getting out of the life that I was in. So home alone, I fell to my knees, and I said, God, I've heard about you my whole life, but I don't know if you're real. I don't know if you even exist. But if you're real, really real, I need to know it, and I don't want to live this way anymore. I can't live this way anymore. Please, help me. In that moment, I met Jesus Christ, and a whole new list of words showed up. Love, grace, mercy, forgiveness, compassion, redemption. I was set free. That leads to the third portion of my life, from March 30th, 2011 to this moment right now, recovery. At first, I didn't know I needed recovery for abuse, but God did, because He is a God of healing, restoration, and recovery. He led me to a church that had a program called Celebrate Recovery. Their ad said you should show up if you have hurts, habits, or hang-ups. Well, I had 40 years of hurts behind me, so I decided to go to a meeting. The people there listened as I shared stories from my past. They wiped my tears. They loved me. But most importantly, they educated me about me. I learned why I was in the life I was in and why I stayed there so long. In recovery, I've realized my life can be different. I can take steps to be a different person. I realized I'm stronger than I thought I was. And just because dysfunction and abuse was in my past, it does not have to be part of my future. I can break the cycle of abuse in my life and for my family. I've learned that forgiveness is for me so I can have healing and move forward. I don't have to accept unhealthy relationships. Boundaries are not only okay, they are good. Today in recovery and through the healing power of Jesus Christ and His Word, I have a new life. Biblical counseling has saved my marriage and it's being restored. I've reconnected with family and friends to establish healthy relationships. I've learned how to function despite the torments of PTSD. I'm now a college student at Daytona State College. I'm in the interactive media production program, where I'm learning things like photography, videography, audio engineering, journalism, tools I can use to spread a message of hope. I'm on the president's list of the college, and I lead a campus ministry called Campus Crusade for Christ. I also write for the college newspaper. In recovery, I've been able to completely become who God created me to be, a writer and an artist. And now I reach out to others who also have hurts. I want them to know, and I want all of you to know, that there is hope. No matter how bad it seems, no matter how dark it gets or how much you're struggling, there is hope. And there is a God who is really real. And He loves you. You are valuable. You are a special treasure. And if you're here and you have a life that looks anything like my 40-year stretch, my advice to you is to speak up and get some help, even though it may seem impossible and it might be scary. You can have a much better life. I'm proof of it. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. That young lady just said there is hope. How many believe there is hope? There is